Welcome to Kanpai Planet, I'm Mac, and welcome to Whisky Festival 2022 in Tokyo.
Whisky Festival in Tokyo, run by the Japan Whisky Research Center, was back. I attended 2 of the 4 sessions. Would the 4,400 yen per session tickets be worth it? Let's find out. It's actually quite overwhelming. Like, what to try first? First, let's check out what the big guns are up to. Suntory, apart from the hour, everything is a paid tasting. I put the hour head-to-head with Nikka session on Kanpai Planet, so go and check that out. Next to me is the legend, Shinji Fukuyo. Chief blender. Chief blender. Well, he's the master. The master chief blender of Suntory. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
Anything you could tell us about the plans for this year from Suntory?
Actually, still we are under some restriction situation by COVID.
Yes.
But I would like to explore the next challenges with some innovations and new products.
Yep. Okay, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Thank you very much for everything you do. Beam Suntory can't dish out any of their Suntory stuff for free, but very happy to deliver a Macallan 12 triple cask. Don't mind if I do. Kanpai. Nikka here with a reasonably standard lineup of their core range. Nikka have a tasting of their Nikka Discovery whiskies, the Yoichi non-peated and the Miyagi peated. I've reviewed those on Kanpai Planet, so I won't be turning up to that. As always, the Chichabu booth had the longest lines of any Japanese distillery, primarily due to 2 single casks they'd brought along. I've got 2 special single casks from Chichabu here. An 11-year Oloroso Sherry, Spanish Oak, and a 9-year American White Oak refill barrel. All right, Kanpai. Oh, wow. Ooh, that is deep and rich. Signature Chichabu character with a beautiful sherry overlay. Ooh, that's also lovely. These are both really, really good. I know some Chichabu stuff can be a little bit overhyped. Not these 2 babies. Chichabu Leaf Series limited edition. And the classical edition. While I mulled over whether to make this my new review style, I was honoured to meet another of Japan's whiskey Illuminati. I can't believe I'm standing next to the legendary Ichiro Akuto.
Thank you.
What you've built in the last 14 years is absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for everything you've done for Japanese whiskey. What exciting thing is coming up in Chichabu Distillery?
I have decided this.
Okay.
If necessary, I will do new things.
Oh wow. Oh, fantastic.
Already we have distillery 1, distillery 2.
Yeah.
Last year we built the 7th warehouse.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Yeah, what is next?
My name.
Fantastic. Distillery 3?
Maybe.
Maybe, oh wow.
In the future.
Yeah, fantastic. What is your favourite whiskey that you have produced?
Very difficult.
Of course.
I like brand white label.
Oh wow.
Probably it's a very reasonable price.
Yeah.
I like all, but recently I made double distillery.
Double distilleries. So that's a blend of Hanyu and Chichabu whiskey, right?
The portion of the honey is very small.
Yeah.
Now our
Look who I've found. It's Tatsuro Kusano, master blender at the Tsunuki Distillery.
Thank you.
Hisashiburi.
久しぶりです。
Good to see you again. Kanpai Planet fans will recognize Kusano-san from the interview I did with him when I reviewed the Tsunuki 2022 edition. 今日のおすすめは何ですか？
今日はカスクサンプルも持ってきてますので、駒ヶ岳とつぬきのシングルカスクのサンプル、バーボンダルのそれの飲み比べが面白いと思います。お願いします。
So this is Kusano-san's favorite of the cask samples that they've brought. It says 4 years here, 4年
2ヶ月。
Yeah. So 4 years, 2 months.
Yes.
What other information do we have? 60% ABV, 0 ppm.
0 ppm、yes.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. Ooh. Oh, that is fantastic. Kusano-san,
はい。
what can we expect? So 今年 Tsunuki no release plan は何ですか？
毎年やっぱり一つエディション、
はい、
シングルフォントエディシ
そう
ョンを出す予定なので、
はい。
だから今年は2022も出してしまったので、
はい
また来年の頭ぐらいにおそらく
Oh, fantastic.
2023エディションを作る予定なので、美味しいブレンドしますので。
はい、いつも、yeah, yeah. I can always trust Kusano-san to come up with an oishi blend. Fantastic. Now on to the Shinshu cask sample. 4 years and 11 months. First fill bourbon as well. These distilleries really producing spirit with such different character. Which is my favorite? I'll never tell.
Now for more of Japan's craft distillers that Kanpai Planet viewers will be very familiar with.
So I just told Komasa-san that I want to try everything, and he's taken that quite literally. He knows me too well after we've hung out at the distillery, and I've got the complete lineup of Kanosuke and Hiyoki whiskies here. Kanosuke peated new pot.
ウェアハウスが屋久島にありますから。
Ooh,
ありますね。
はい、エイジングセラーという。
Kanosuke, some great stuff in store. So Kanosuke have been making grain whiskey at their Hiyoki distillery, and this is their new pot. You're getting increasingly more and more Japanese distilleries making grain. Ooh, there's a real lovely deep sweetness to that. Just been raving about the new pot. The grain newborn in virgin oak is absolutely outstanding.
Sakurao had brought along a number of single casks I was excited to try.
On the left there you can see the first release from Sakurao, which I've reviewed previously. And then on the right, the bourbon barrel single cask, a sherry on the very right, and then in the middle, a secret cask. He won't tell me the secret. I keep trying to tell me the secret. Tell me these. He won't tell me. We're thinking maybe a white wine cask, maybe a Japanese white wine cask. It's definitely some of that characteristic on the nose. But, you know, we've both drunk so much we could be completely off. So, Sakurao bourbon cask. For their first release, they used a blend of liquid from 6 different barrel types. The majority of it was bourbon and sherry. So that character's immediately coming through, reminding me of that first release. This Sakurao sherry cask, quite a bit of sulfur on the nose. Not sure if I'd like that as a single cask. Well, I am sure because, you know, I'm drinking it right now. Reminds me of some of the comments Kusano-san from Tsunuki has made about sherry casks at that distillery. Works well in a blend. Not sure I'd rate this as a single cask. On the right here we have the Togoichi, which I've reviewed before on Kanpai Planet, but on the left we have a special single cask bourbon barrel. Looking forward to trying that. I was a big fan of this Togoichi, And this single cask bourbon is really lovely, mixing that pine character with a bit of vanilla. Kanpai.
The Shizuoka distillery have had a lot to punch the air about over the last 2 years.
This is a delightful new make made using the W pot still from the Shizuoka distillery. And if we look on the back, we can see all sorts of very useful information, including the fact that the yeast used was a Pinnacle M. I always love to see that kind of level of disclosure. And here it is. Arigatou gozaimasu. And how do I know it's delightful? Because I've tried it at the distillery. This is Blended M, recently released by the Shizuoka distillery. It's a blend of their liquid and some world whiskey. This is one that I may actually end up reviewing proper on Kanpai Planet, so I'm going to hold back my opinion on this. Yamasaka are here bringing it home with a series of paid tastings, some of their blends, their world blends, and then some of their single malt Japanese whiskies. Yuza are definitely one to watch. Up in Yamagata, started in 2018, and they've just dropped their first single malt. Non-chill filtered, natural colour, natural cask strength.
Many tastings were free, but some required payment.
I've got my coupon ready to exchange for 15 millilitres of Yuza's first release. Quite sweet on the nose. Interesting stuff. Pretty deep structure to that. A little bit of bitterness at the end as well. I think that's going to be divisive, but I like it. Yuza, 2 years, 9 months, so 3 months shy of being able to slap that word whiskey on the bottle. Akeshi have brought with them a generous lineup of their single malts and blends. This is the Kanron. They do like their peat up there. Here's some Akeshi Borshu. Ooh, ooh, that is some beautiful salinity there. Reminds me of a ramped up Talisker. Fantastic.
Some of the very newest Japanese whiskey makers, such as Kizakura, were there. There was even representation from a distillery that had nothing to serve up because they're awaiting some of their licenses.
This here is a model of the new Komoro distillery being built in Karawizawa. In Chang, ex-Cavalan is involved in the project. Exciting times for Japanese whiskey.
While there was plenty more Japanese whiskey to try, and try it I did, I wanted to catch up with the founder of this amazing event.
Tsuchiya-san is the founder of the Japan Whiskey Research Center.
21 years ago.
Oh my god, wow.
32 years of whiskey later.
Yeah.
32. Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then this is fantastic after 3 years.
Yeah, after
to
3
be
years.
back.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Always my dream.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. I'm so happy.
Yeah, I know. I know people spending a lot of money.
I'm so pleased.
Fantastic, we are. Don't worry. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Whiskey Festival is not just about whiskey.
This is the Dictador 12-year ultra premium reserve Colombian aged rum.
Let's enjoy it. And there you go.
Brilliant. Thank you very
Let
much.
me know what you think, right? This is our standard. So it's the youngest that we sell, and we do not do any white rums. So that's what makes us special. That we only sell aged rums, and our youngest is 12-year-old. Sometimes we do special commemoration, like a little bit younger, but the standard is 12-year-old, and then we have 20, and a little bit single vintages, also from 70s, 60s, 80s.
Wow, fantastic. Thank you.
Enjoy.
Dictador, definitely the most artistic backdrop. Here you've got some sculptures by Richard Orlinsky. Fantastic gorillas full of premium liquid in the 5-decade series. Oh wow, that is pretty dangerous at 11 o'clock in the morning. beautifully sweet, but not cloying at all. Lovely, lovely stuff. And I've just been handed the 20. An extra 8 years of aging. Or I've got to walk away from here, otherwise we're going to be in a lot of trouble later on. Okay, Gosha, what do we have here?
Hi, so I'm Gosha, I'm the brand ambassador for Japan for Dictator. And we have Dictator 2 Masters, which is a special collaboration between 2 different distilleries. So we provide the liquid, and then the finish is made by the different distillery. So this one was the Glenfarclas ones. It was finished in family cask as well from 1974. Wow. Yeah.
So not just any Glenfarclas 12, 17 cask.
Exactly.
This is 1974 family cask finish.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's why it deserves the premium box, right?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic.
You gotta tell me what you think when you drink it.
Always good to get the bottle in the shot as well. So on the nose, you can really get that Glenfarclas sherry character there. And then ooh. For whiskey fans, even if you don't like rum, that's really going to appeal. You've got the sweetness of the rum there, but this incredible structure and character that's clearly cask derived. That 14-month cask finish really, really shining through there. Got to make sure I get every last drop. Lovely. 2.5 million yen, about 22,000 US dollars for this Lalique bottled 1970s rum. I'll see if I've got any coupons left at the end of the event. I'm with Gosha, brand ambassador for Dictador, and with the legend, Yu Sumiyoshi, owner of Bar Lakehart in Fukuoka, and translator of the legendary book Whiskey Rising by Stefan van Eycken. Kanpai.
Kanpai.
We are drinking the Japan Whiskey Research Center exclusive rum.
Very nice.
Tell us a little bit about this, Gosha.
So this was specially selected by the chairman, Mr. Tsuchiya. We sent a few samples for him to choose from, and then he chose the 2004 a vintage, which we bottled at 17 years old. So I'm very happy, and I hope you guys enjoy as well.
Brilliant. Ooh, that is fantastic. Lots of caramel, lots of toffee in that. What do you think?
Wonderful, wonderful. It's really fruity.
We're not just saying that because Gosha's standing next to us. This is really very, very good.
No pressure.
Kanpai.
Kanpai, my friend.
Yay.
Great to see you.
And speaking of bumping into friends,
This is Len. Kanpai.
Kanpai.
Absolute legend. We've met at Madorigal in Ginza, an Ardbeg appreciation bar. He's even wearing his Ardbeg t-shirt. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
and speaking of Ardbeg,
A pretty cost-effective way to try Ardbeg fermentation, and I'm on it. On the nose, that is omoshiroi. Let's just leave it at that. I know there's a lot of unopened bottles of this around the world. I hope people do get to try it because it's a really interesting dram.
if that isn't a signal to go all in on Scotch, I don't know what is.
Always good to see one of my favourite Scotch brands, Loch Lomond. I'm on the 12, which has won gold 3 years in a row at the Tokyo Whiskey and Spirits competition. As always, Master Blender Michael Henry's done a great job. Talita port cask finish. Oishi. 38-year-old Brora. You want a bottle? $2,500. Clearly a lot of big spenders in the house here today. They weren't put off by this 10 voucher, 10 coupon limit. Remember, each coupon 300 yen, and it's gone. This is Jerome, brand ambassador for Johnny Walker in Japan, and he's running a little aroma experience today.
All right, thank you very much. Right here in front of each bottle, there is a word in Japanese that represents a different aroma of whiskey. So this one says creamy and sweet. This one says spicy. This says smoky, woody, and then rich umami and smoke. So what's inside of each of these is a spice. Before John Walker was a whiskey blender, he was actually a spice blender. So there's a kind of a historical connection. So I want you to open each one and give it a smell, and then decide which one has your most preferential aroma.
Okay.
All right, and then by doing that, I can actually match you with a Johnny Walker that matches your taste.
Okay, so I've got to sniff these. I like that.
Very pleasant.
I do. Okay, smoky. It's actually quite nicely smoked. Very good. Spicy. Oh, that's nice. I might try to pocket this and use in my cooking later on today, if I'm sober enough to operate an oven. So this is umami, right? You said it says rich smoky.
I said rich smoke, but probably rich umami smoke.
It's got this, like, it reminds me of katsuo boshi. Is that what you're going for here?
It actually is katsuo.
Yeah, those katsuo fish flakes, which are a big source of umami, along with kombu in Japanese cuisine. Very nice. That is nice, actually. And this is woody. Oh, wow. Okay, so, all right.
I would like you to tell me which one was your favorite.
Okay.
Your favorite aroma.
I mean, it's tough, but probably the sweet and creamy, to be honest.
For people who choose sweet and creamy, I like to recommend Johnny Walker Gold Label Reserve. And for people who choose smoky, I like to recommend up here, Double Black and Green Label.
Okay.
For someone who chooses spicy, I like to recommend Red Label. It
Yeah.
goes very well with spicy foods like Thai and Indian food.
Okay.
For people who choose the woody turmeric, I like to recommend 18 year, Johnny Walker 18 year. And for people that choose the katsuobushi, my recommendation is Johnny Walker Black Label 12.
The 12.
Japanese cuisine uses a lot of things from the ocean, like you mentioned, kombu and katsuobushi, but a lot of things.
Yeah, that give umami to, like, ramen broth and other foods, right?
Right, exactly. Now, Johnny Walker Black Label uses a healthy amount of island whiskey.
Yeah.
Isla and island malt, which is a very nice pairing with things from the sea. It brings out the iodine flavor.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Always good to see you, Jerome. Cheers, bro. Chanel from Aloha Whiskey is pouring me a 20-year Ben Nevis, finished in an Aloes Coton wine cask. There's a lovely colour here. Ooh, I've had a lot of Ben Nevis that has really stepped outside what I would call the standard Ben Nevis distillery profile. And this is one of them. Not sure if I'd want a whole bottle of that, but it's lovely. Sneaking in a cheeky Dewar's 15. It was all right, and then the bagpipes kicked in, and it made it even better.
There was still so much to explore.
Got to show some love to Kavalan, doing some fantastic work down in Taiwan.
Hello, KANPAI Planet followers. My name is Vigo. I'm working for Kovo as brand manager in Asia.
And some of you may remember her from 3 years ago, when the video I made about the Whiskey Festival in 2019, I put on the Welsh Planet channel, as KANPAI Planet didn't exist then. And
Hello.
this may well be the same whiskey you tried to get me to drink then.
I have bourbon here today, which is the first bourbon made in Chicago. And this tastes very great and smooth, and it tastes like vanilla. And I really want all of you to try this product. Cheers,
Awesome.
everyone.
Brilliant, thank you. Ambassador Emmanuel has actually chosen Koval, given he's from Chicago, as the gift to be dishing out. To bribe, oh no, that's maybe the wrong word, to grease the axles of political society in Japan. Kanpai.
I'm so glad people misunderstand, people are making wine.
Ooh.
But no.
If you don't like vanilla, do not drink Koval bourbon. Whistle Pig 12, highly recommended. With me here is Jack, brand ambassador for Westland.
Westland Distillery, all the way from Seattle. We've got the American oak out here right now. Seattle, very famous for craft beer. So Westland is made almost as a craft beer, and they distill it. So we've got some chocolatey malts that's usually found in like a porter or a stout, these kind of dark beers. And then we ferment it with a Belgian brewer's yeast. So this is a wild yeast, which brings like an orangey flavour, some citrus, some kind of berries, cloves, these kind of very fruity aromas. And then this is distilled, and we've got it's aged for 3 to 5 years in virgin oak barrels, which is more of a traditional American maturation, like bourbon, and that gives it a very powerful coffee, chocolatey kind of flavour, almost like a mocha. You imagine like a mocha coffee. Here we go, Westland American oak. And it's American single malt. This is the next big thing in whiskey, we believe. So love it.
Given everything Jack's just said, if I don't like this, then something has gone like wrong. You know, like he used many words which I like.
Well, they're good words. Does it translate into the?
Let's find out.
Go for it.
You got that chocolate there, 100%.
Very chocolatey. We're all about representing the terroir, but also in terms of culture.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Seattle's all about craft beer, so this, of course, this whiskey.
And I'm a massive craft beer guy.
Me too.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow! On the palate, we're as we'd say here, sort of biru mitai, right?
Biru mitai, it's very sort of malty.
Yeah.
You're getting that kind of these 5 layers of roasted malt. I'll just grab this here. So we can see very clearly there's 5 different types of malt here on the top. The bottom is a peated malt that we use in other expressions that we have, but this 5 is our house recipe. 5 different types of malt, the different levels of roasting. We've got a pale chocolate malt down the bottom, this brown malt, they're common in sort of brown ales from the UK.
Yeah.
And these 2 actually come from the UK, but these top 2, the pale malts, come from Washington.
Lovely.
In the middle we've got the extra special malt, which is made in Wisconsin.
Fantastic.
So, beautiful, lovely selection of barley, which is we're into beer and we're into whiskey.
And it's great because those British malts that you talked about, you're starting to see a bit of a boom, as we like to say here, in like mild bitters, darker British style beers. It's finally. I had like 3 different ones from 3 different Japanese breweries in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, excellent!
That's a boom.
Yeah, in Japan. More than one is a boom.
Exactly, and we're happy.
Happy, very happy.
Better than the shokopan boom, the sliced bread boom that we've had for the last 2 years.
Don't remind me.
All right, kanpai, my friend.
Kanpai, lovely to meet you.
Cheers.
Westland, yeah.
There were no paid seminars this year, but talk shows were happening on the main stage. The bells were ringing out for me to try this Pogue's Irish whiskey.
Here's your Irish whiskey, it's a blended.
So I'm here with Mizuki-san from Miyako Spirits, and he's just given me a thimble of Pogue's Irish whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Pogue's offshore whiskey, and it's directed by and made by the Pogue's member and the Westcock distillery in Ireland.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, it's a very offshore. It's a nice whiskey, actually.
Okay.
The malt content is 50%, and the grain whiskey is wheat. So you can try it. It's smooth, 3 times distilled.
Triple distilled, 50% malt, 50% grain. Yabayo. That is dangerous. Wow, you see, that's gone.
Right.
Thank you very much. The Pogue's. Pogue's single malt.
Yes.
Oh, that's really interesting on the nose.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a bit salty and a bit grassy.
Yeah.
And you can feel the sesame flavor with chocolate.
Yeah, there's a real, like, you sort of talk about grassy, right?
Yes.
Like hay, you know, like
exactly.
rolling around in the fields. Pretty good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Brilliant. Penderyn represent. Absolutely love the stuff coming out of this Welsh distillery, and it's great to see them represented in Japan. Very, very useful device here. My friends at Acorn are the official distributors for Bimba in Japan, and they managed to get some Apogee 12. Raising a glass to Vin PF from No Nonsense Whisky, who reviewed this recently. I refer you to him for my thoughts on this. Along with Bimba, English whisky was well represented at the festival. At least, I thought it was. Cotswolds represent. I'm here with my main man, Ellie.
Yeah, we're out.
And we've just drunk the Cotswolds Green Label. Single malt
Cotswolds?
whiskey. What do you
It's
think?
not bad. This is a good Irish whiskey. You can buy this, it's cheap, it's good. I drink it.
Brilliant. Irish whiskey from the Cotswolds.
Cheers.
But even as the event came to an end, there was time to reconnect with more wonderful people in Japan's drinks industry. Here's Matsuko-san. So I met her in Whiskey Festival 2019, and since then I've become a massive fan of Okinawa gin. 一番好きなのは Batch 2. The Tankan, that Okinawa orange forward is so great.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's a wrap from Whiskey Festival 2022 in Tokyo. Absolutely fantastic event. And until next time, kanpai.